Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. And now, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Andrew.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. This is Andrew G, and welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show.
Another Monday.
We have a fun-filled show for you today.
Action-packed. There's a lot to talk about. There's been so much stuff going on.
Yes.
2024 has been nonstop madness.
2024, it feels like we're 6 months in.
From aliens to Jews underground, what is going to happen next? Oh, man. It's been fun. It's been crazy. As always, we want to thank you guys for watching the shows. Be sure you share, like, and subscribe. And that is all I'll say about that.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, so let's ease into it.
Okay.
Something I wanted to talk about a little while ago. It's kind of self-corrected itself in a way. Did you watch Amanda Bynes at all when you were younger?
Yes.
Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Girl Next Door, heartthrob to many.
Yeah. She was in that movie where her father was like royalty or something.
Yeah. Which was kind of like, they kind of ripped off. It was a movie with Sinbad. He was protecting the president's son. What was it called? The President's Son?
Probably.
That was a good one. Yeah, there's been a lot of renditions of that. But, I mean, Amanda Bynes, when I think of Amanda Bynes, I think of her cute, young girl next door, you know? I don't know if you've seen her recently. She started a podcast. Let's just say she looks really different than you might remember her.
Okay.
If I can actually work a link here.
Okay.
It might not even work. I might have to go to YouTube here. But yeah, in the meantime, so basically what she did was she started a podcast, and then within one episode, she canceled her podcast. So she came out and she was like, hey, the podcast, we're not able to get the guests that we want. So we're going to go ahead and put a pause on it. Because basically she wasn't able to get like Drake on the podcast. So, I mean, this is what she looks like now. And this was a few weeks ago. So let's see. I don't know if this is the one where she paused the podcast or not. But we'll take a quick listen here.
So I saw a couple of stories online that say I have a new look, and I was never open about this before, but I actually had blepharoplasty surgery.
Amanda Bynes explains a recent change in her appearance.
So that's how she looks now. But she came out and she said, we're stopping the podcast. I can't get Drake. I can't get the type of guests I want. We're not doing the podcast anymore. So then very recently she comes out and she says, no, we're going to continue the podcast. I shouldn't have said that I wasn't able to get the guests I wanted. Maybe we'll be able to get the guests I want later. So we're going to come back and we're going to do the podcast again. So she still only has, it's been a month. She still only has this one podcast out. But why don't we listen to the very beginning?
Hi everyone, welcome to Amanda Bynes and Paul Semensky, the podcast. Today we are welcoming Dahlia Moth on our show.
Hi everyone.
Nice. Hello everybody. Hi, I am Paul, and welcome to our beautiful guest, Dahlia.
So yeah, I mean, you kind of get a glimpse of it. I mean, I think the world is better off without this podcast, which is totally fine. I just thought it was funny because, I mean, we're not famous. I understand that, but we are pumping out a new show for you guys every fucking Monday at 6 p.m. So please, spread it around. We have fun doing it. But you got people out there that just on their past alone are able to get close to 200,000 subscribers and have a bunch of people watching.
All right, scroll up so I can get a good look at her face. What the fuck happened?
Yeah. Well, I think we'll do the side by side. Look at the side by side here. I mean, you can see, what she used to look like versus what she is now, and it's she's got a face tattoo. She's got a nose ring. Her eyebrows are blue. Her hair's dyed blonde. It's a shame. But
if that's not just a warning to not do drugs, I don't know what is.
If that's not the liberal mind virus.
Yeah.
She looks like, who's that one guy that was in like the rock band back in the day? He had like the mullet, the blonde mullet, and he looked just like this.
You really need to narrow it down.
I know. If I could find it in post cut, I'll edit the two pictures together because it's absolutely hilarious. I mean, she almost looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter with her glasses on. You know?
Oh, she certainly does look like a dog.
There you go. That's true.
Like, there's a reason why Drake doesn't want to come on her podcast. He only goes on Dime's podcasts.
True. Yeah. You an ugly bitch, and you know it. I don't want to show it.
If that was God's plan, God is a cunt.
That's definitely not part of God's plan. Might be part of Satan's plan. Satan? Yeah. It's an interesting one. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Like, she has fallen so far, I think we could get her on our podcast.
We might be able to get her on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see it, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
I can grab some stuff from the evidence locker.
There you go.
Work.
Why aren't you doing that already?
I'm a good employee.
We're gonna cut that. So all right, we're gonna go from Amanda Bynes, who looks like a fucking alien, to actual aliens in the Miami Mall.
Okay.
Did you see all the footage of the Miami Mall and how crazy it got? The response?
No.
You didn't see this? Oh my gosh. So
I know Matt Walsh went a little crazy. Like, he's a big into aliens. He is a believer.
Matt Walsh is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, they're saying there was like riots, and the alien and police responded to like riots that were happening, but the response was absolutely insane. I mean, there must have been 100+ cop cars. There was 4 choppers in the sky. But yeah, I mean, if you look at like the actual footage from that day, it's pretty insane. Like, I don't understand why they need it. Why they needed this sort of a response. But then later on, they were saying that people were seeing shadow figures and aliens, and like that's probably why. Like, you could see people were just like running in panic away from the mall. But then when you see the response of the police here, I mean, look at this is just crazy. Look at this the whole entire road is just police cars. And then they had 4 choppers. I mean, maybe some of the choppers were news choppers. Now, allegedly, there was radio activity from the police where somebody mentioned terrorism. But yeah, I find it hard to believe that, it was just for a few teenagers rioting or whatever.
I guess I'd want that, like an overreaction compared to like Uvalde.
Where they didn't do anything and they let a bunch of kids get killed?
Yes.
Yeah. I would prefer that too. And not only were they letting a bunch of kids get shot in a classroom while they were sanitizing their hands, they were also macing parents, putting parents in handcuffs, not letting parents go into the school. They were basically allowing that to happen. And yeah, I don't want to be the next person to get sued for $1 billion like Alex Jones, but yeah, I mean, 4 teens were arrested after this. And I saw a video of a guy getting pummeled by fucking 30 teens. One guy was getting beaten mercilessly. Here it is. Here's the guy. He's getting his ass beat by a group of fucking kids. And dude just gets right up. Dude just gets right up like a beast. Look at this shit. They didn't show him getting up, of course, but he ends up just like getting up and kind of walking away.
But because they're kids, they're not going to release their names.
Well, some of them don't look like they're kids, totally.
Kids.
Yeah.
And or their country of origin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. We did the Martin Luther King Day episode. And yeah, like they're blurring out the person's face for putting gasoline all over Martin Luther King Jr.'s house. And it's like, why are you blurring out? Why are you protecting that person? Why are you protecting the actual fucking criminal? But we all know why. We all know why. Yeah. So far 2024 Aliens. That's been fun. Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton. They're in a club. We ain't in it. We don't want to be in it. And yeah, some shit needs to go down. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But the videos of like Stephen Hawking, Stephen Hawking coming out, which is so funny. It's like when Epstein knows when Hawking knows that the plane is leaving for Epstein's Island, and it'll be like, the wheelchair, but it'll be going like 80 miles an hour, or it's like it's a guy in a wheelchair and it's like towing a boat. Did you get to see anything like that?
No.
Dude, the meme magic has been absolutely insane when it comes to Hawking.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any meme of like a flux capacitor in his wheelchair.
Yeah. There's been a few where it's like a wheelchair underwater, and it's almost like a scuba diver, but like, they got this special wheelchair thing with like flippers on it, and it's like Hawking heading to Epstein Island, and it's just like going in and out of the waves. Oh my god, dude, it is it's sad.
I wonder if there's any like meme of like Stephen Hawking riding Flipper with the Flipper sounds.
I used to love Flipper when I was a kid.
Oh, me too.
Was that your jam? Yeah, Flipper and Lassie. We don't do that anymore.
And I'm talking way back, like the black and white Lassie.
Yeah, I watched that shit too when I was a kid. Yeah, Monsters. We actually used to have somewhat of an attention span when we were younger. Now it's like, did you ever see the movie 12 Angry Men?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's a great movie, and it's one of those rare movies where 95% of the movie happens within one setting, and that's the drawer room. And if you tried to have a kid sit down and watch that today, like, no fucking way.
Yeah, it's like I feel like kids, they don't like find a movie like on a basic channel, like a old movie from the 50s or 60s, and just sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of stuck with what we had on the TV. So, like, at a certain point, if you were up late enough, you might have been watching, I Love Lucy, or you might have been watching some of the classics. But, yeah, I mean, now you have such a variety of what you want to watch. You don't even pick what you want to watch most of the time. Most of the time you go and you just scroll, and it shows you a 30-second video, and then you scroll and it shows you the next 30-second video, and you just keep doing that.
Yeah, I remember very, very vividly, like Sunday morning or Saturday morning, turning on HBO, and there was The Great Escape. The first time I saw, and it was like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie, and I watched that whole goddamn movie.
Is that how long that was?
Yeah, it was a long movie, and that's where I discovered my love of Steve McQueen.
What else was he in? He was in a lot of stuff, wasn't he?
Bullet. What else? Papillon. The original Thomas Crown Affair.
Most of it's a little bit before my time.
Oh, it's all about before. He died young. He died, I want to say, in like 1982, 1983 at the age of 50.
Yeah, that was before my time for sure. I wasn't even around yet.
The original Getaway with Faye Dunaway.
Yep.
I think Faye Dunaway.
Not ringing a bell.
He was like one of our first movie stars. He was like right up there with James Dean.
I know the name. Isn't that like on The Simpsons? Don't they make fun of the McQueen? Isn't the one actor like McQueen? Like, hi, I'm da da da, and this is. It's always a McQueen, isn't it? I feel like.
You're probably close.
Yeah, now I gotta look it up. Simpsons. No. Steve McQueen. Come on, internet, you piece of shit. Oh, this isn't gonna go well if we can't actually. Well, actually, they're saying it's talking about Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen. Marge mentioned that she wanted Bart's. Yeah, no, nothing's working.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That
I feel like there was a character where they referenced the McQueen, and yeah, it's the guy with the good voice. You know, he's got the.
Yeah, I think they might have based that character off of, like, I want to say Rock Hudson.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not how Rock Hudson left the Earth, though.
How did he do that?
He got the high five.
The high five.
Also known as HIV. Rock Hudson.
I honestly kind of thought that's what you were saying, but I was like, what? Oh my god, that's funny. I'm starting to learn how to speak Jeremy.
Yeah, but getting back to Stephen Hawking, you know, he's probably one of the few guys on Epstein Island doing, like, somewhat wholesome stuff. I mean, it's still a little weird.
Yeah, and, you know, David Copperfield's out there doing magic tricks for him. You know, like, Epstein wasn't like your typical pedophile pimp, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he was entertaining the masses. You know, he's like, hey, we're going to have David Copperfield do magic for an hour, and then we're going to have a nice dinner, and then we're going to get to the stuff. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, can we just get to the stuff? What are we here for? Come on.
His thing was he liked little people doing long division.
Schlong division, I think is what you meant.
No, I don't think he...
Here's we talked about this the one time. I always thought that was a really funny concept. If Stephen Hawking actually was never a genius, he just like had ChatGPT before most people, and he just had to make it sound like I'm a robot, but it was really like he had access to everything all at once, anything everywhere all at once. Sorry, I am looking at my phone. I'm trying to get. We have some questions from one of our watchers, which we appreciate. We're going to get to that in a little bit, so I don't want to get sidetracked. I just want to make sure that I have the questions here. But yeah, I mean, the Stephen Hawking thing. There's been I gotta get some videos and to show those. I mean, they're absolutely insanely hilarious, and obviously depressing as well for what they stand for. But getting into more dirt, more Hollywood and political dirt, more Hollywood dirt.
Yeah.
Cat Williams on Shannon Sharp's podcast went absolutely ballistic. I know you watched most of it. I watched the whole thing. Which, by the way, you can watch stuff on 1.25 speed. Just get through it real fast.
Then Cat would sound exactly like he does on stage.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting just to hear from him because it's been a while since I've really seen him or heard from him. You know, like I remember watching his special when he's in the green suit.
Oh yeah, the Pimp Chronicles.
Yeah, the Pimp Chronicles
was great. Cat he should be on like your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. One of the best comics there are.
I thought Shannon Sharp. I think he was expecting like a nice, easy interview.
100%. He was expecting to laugh and shoot the shit, and Cat Williams came out and just dropped all the dirt on everybody all at once.
Like he probably had to do a cut where he tears up all his softball questions.
Yeah. Well, at a certain point, he did just kind of take a step back and just kind of let Cat talk. You know what I mean? There's a couple times he would chime in here and there. Or he might have defended himself or defend somebody else that was on the show a couple times. You know, like, hey, I never even knew that happened. Or I would have asked that question, but I didn't know. You know, I didn't have the backstory. Like, you're here to set the record straight. But then video after video after Cat Williams was on came out of, you know, all these comics, you know, either kind of trashing Cats. A lot of them were saying, you know, he was dead on truthful. Some of them had said, he was right he was right on for most of it. Here's where, I saw things a little bit differently. I know like Ice Cube came out and talked. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was pretty honest about what took place, especially in Hollywood. Like with Harvey Weinstein, one of those. Everybody in Hollywood was thanking him for in all their fucking speeches, and then it comes out afterwards what he was doing. Not just with women though. Apparently, it comes out that it's like that really was Hollywood, right?
Yeah, and it seems like. What the fuck was I gonna say? The autism's poking out a little bit.
We'll see if it comes back. Give it a second. Yeah. It reminds me of in Team America when he gets into the limo. He's like, "My time is very valuable. Get in the limo. I'm not gonna fuck your mouth or whatever." and then he gets in and he's like, "All right, now suck my cock." That's really fucking Hollywood, man. Like these jokes are out there, and obviously they're jokes. People laugh, but it's the same with most things. I mean, things are funny, and comedy hits because there's truth to it.
Yeah.
And if there's no truth to it, then it's maybe just being silly. Maybe it gets a chuckle, but the stuff that's true really resonates with people, and all that shit that you've ever heard about Hollywood and everything going on. I mean, most of it seems to be pretty much accurate.
Like porn didn't come up with the casting couch. Hollywood came up with the casting couch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of porn was shot in Hollywood. It was all lights, camera, action. They would rent out a house, and even like MTV Cribs, a bunch of that shit. Like that wasn't even real. A lot of it. They ended up having houses that they were just renting, or they were only staying there for a little bit, and it's like, yeah, come check out my crib. It's like, that's why when you open the fridge, you only got like a couple Gatorades in there and one bottle of water. Like you don't live in this fucking house.
Yeah, there's a lot of phonies in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
it's especially in comedy. I heard Patrice say once you learn how comedy works, it's not funny. There's a lot of politics, ass kissing, and not always the funniest comic gets the rocket put on their back to start them.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I mean you see it too, within like the podcasting community. A lot of times, you see that the same people have the same people on their shows or promote the same people, and I'm not talking about our little local world. I'm just talking about in general. Like Rogan always does have the same people on, which Cat Williams kind of mentioned that too. Like he's trying to get the same comedians that have never been funny, but with the exception of Shane Gillis is the goat right now. But
that dude is headlining arenas.
Yeah.
And quite literally 6 years ago, he was headlining a bowling alley in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's insane. Now it is interesting, like for him to only have a couple specials out. Like Cat Williams really does. I never realized that he had so many specials out.
Yeah.
I mean that really is a testament to being able to work hard and crack the code to comedy. I mean he was talking about being very well studied, which I thought was really interesting because you just think if people are funny, they're funny, but like you said, not just the politics to it, but there is kind of a way of doing it, right? Like comedy happens in threes, and the way to misdirect people, and then self-deprivation. I mean, there's a bunch of tools in the toolbox when it comes to actual stand-up comedy.
And comedians do not get the credit that they deserve for their level of intelligence.
Oh yeah. I've been saying it for years.
I mean, on most cases, there are outliers. Rich Voss, he really is a dumb Jew. But
he'll be glad to hear you say it.
Every time I've met Voss, probably like 3, 4, 5 times, and he starts to recognize me now, and he goes, "There's the stalker, Bonnie."
Yeah.
Because I have no chill. I love Rich Voss. Which somebody I really admire.
Yeah, he's great.
The autism goes up to 1,000.
Yeah, I want to see him when he comes back again. He's somewhere in Philly now, I think, or in the Philadelphia area. He's definitely in Pennsylvania somewhere. right now, I think. But yeah, I would like to go see him.
You're probably going to have to cut this out, but he's coming back to a place that will not be mentioned.
Yes, Pottstown. Yeah, no, I do want to see him when he comes back. I definitely want to check it out because I don't think I've seen him live. If I did, it would have been like a really long time ago. But no, I think I mostly just remember.
Well, the Voss that you're getting 15 years ago is the same Voss you're getting now.
Pretty much.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome.
The only thing I really shake my head and question about the Cat Williams interview, didn't he say he like reads like 3,000 books a year? Or something like that?
Yeah, some of the things he mentioned was the numbers seemed a little bit crazy, and there was a couple times where he did overestimate certain numbers, and they said something, and he did bring it back down. I think he was talking so fast too. It was just like
I understand if he was like pumping up the number to get some laughs, but that is like 10 books a week. Something like that.
He was saying he did something like that. Yeah, like he was reading.
Like he's not reading War and Peace.
I mean, I guess it's audiobooks to make things different. I mean, especially if he's doing a lot of traveling. If he's traveling, he's in the plane, he's in the bus, he's doing whatever. I mean, I could see him pumping out a lot, but I think that would be like a short-lived thing. It's not like you're going to do that every fucking year for 15 years. You might do that a couple years because you're on the road, but.
And that is a perfect example of real person versus stage persona. Like on stage, Cat, he's knocking over chairs. He is like a Jack Russell Terrier on stage. His energy.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Like the real Cat Williams is pretty soft spoken.
I thought it was interesting in the very beginning of the interview when Cat really came out. He came out the gate firing. And Shannon Sharp was like, you might have had too much. And he's like, I haven't had a sip yet, because they were drinking cognac. And it's like, I haven't even started drinking. Like, I had one sip, like this is all 100%. Like, what I'm telling you is maybe not 100% truth, but it's 100% what Cat Williams believes. I believe that, you know.
That also is the definition of fuck you money.
Yeah. What was interesting too is he really went in like with Kevin Hart. Like, he really went against Kevin Hart. He really went against Cedric the Entertainer. He really went against Steve Harvey. He liked the blue collar guys. He talked about Bill Engvall. He talked about Ron White. He talked about liking them. So, it was just the interesting dichotomy. But again, that was also the blue collar guys and the Kings of Comedy. They were kind of battling together at the same time. So I think it was one of those things where it's like, fuck the Kings of Comedy. The blue collar guys are my guys.
Well, Cat seems like he appreciates realness.
Yeah, realness and hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, he kind of said, who works hard, and in his eyes, and he seems to work really hard, just based off of everything he talked about. But he's got a fucking shit ton of kids, and like he's all over the place, man.
My first thought watching that is somewhere in heaven, Patrice O'Neal is doing a slow clap.
Yeah. He shouted out Patrice. He mentioned how much he loved Patrice. Yeah. No, I think Patrice was looking down on it, going, "Oh shit, yeah."
But he's also thinking, "I'm funnier than that bleep."
Yeah. When you had a list of 300 comics that you had to get in front of, the only reason why you got in front of me is because I fucking died. Bernie Sanders. Not Bernie Sanders.
Freudian slip there.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac, same thing. I think that was, he was one of the greats. And he gave Patrice and Bernie their due, both of them.
And he talked nicely about DL.
Yeah, DL. Yeah, that was he liked DL. Yeah, DL's out, still performing out there right now. He's doing stuff.
He is a raging leftist, basically a black militant, but he's funny.
DL is?
Yes.
Since when?
Since every interview
He's like a lefty.
Yeah.
He's not like I'm black, so I have to vote Democrat lefty.
Aren't they the same thing?
No. No, it's one is you ain't black unless you vote for me. And then there's hey, let's all wear dresses and
he's the
suck Harvey Weinstein's dick.
He's the first one,
Okay, that's what I'm saying. He's
But he does seem like a like militant.
That's a shame.
Black.
Well, DL, wake up, get out of that bullshit. Break out. Break out.
As Anthony Cumia once referred to DL, you might want to bleep this out. Ready?
Boop.
Race cuck.
Nah, we're fine with that. All right, we're creeping up on time here, guys. We gotta move towards the end of this. I do want to show you this. I just thought this was a funny video. This like guy. If you haven't seen, this is the super rare guy. He's like a little person. And he basically just takes like a fucking banana and cuts it up and says super rare.
Well, like, is this like fucking hibachi?
Super rare. He keeps saying it's super rare. He's just fucking hitting it with a knife. Super rare. This is the type of shit that I'm getting into on the internet these days. So that one I thought was absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to put these clips up just because they're fun. We're getting into some fun stuff here. This one I absolutely thought was unbelievably hilarious. So this is like at Walmart, the receipt people. They check your receipts.
Uh-huh.
See that? Can you see your items real quick? No, you can see the items. Can you show them to me? You're welcome to look at it. Okay.
Guy's like, yeah, check them out. Whatever. Look at my stuff. And the guy just takes the receipt and puts
what
it
the fuck?
and eats it. But then the guy loses his shit.
That's some serial killer shit.
He what? He ate your receipt?
That's
You want to pull up the camera?
That's some Ralph Fiennes and Red Dragon type of shit. Eating your receipt.
Can we bring the tape out? Oh my god, that was a good one. All right, we'll do one more here, just because this one I watched multiple times just because I enjoyed it so much.
I'm already enjoying it.
So this is a woman on a treadmill. She's running too fast. She falls. She tries to hang on for dear life, and then her pants get ripped off of her. And then she just lets go because, what do you do at that point?
It combines two things that I like very much. Women falling and a fat ass.
Oh, I thought you were going to say exercising.
No.
And a thong.
The thong is a part of that fat ass.
It looks good. It looks real good. I watched that way too many times. I got a little excited. All right, you know what? We got to get to our questions. Because I told... So, Dark Lumen, thank you for watching. Thank you for your questions. We appreciate your support.
It's our first fan.
Our first fan, Dark Lumen. We were watching Kill Tony, and I think you know what? I think it was Stand Up on the Spot. We were watching Stand Up on the Spot, and I was in the chat talking, and we kind of talked back and forth, and he ended up saying, "Oh yeah, I'll subscribe to your channel and check it out." So sorry we're not doing it live. I know you want us to do some live stuff. Maybe one day we'll do a live Monday show. You know, at some point I think we'll do that. I honestly I think we're not going to do it till maybe the very end of the year. Because the very end of the year, it'll be New Year's Eve on a Monday. Maybe we'll do a live show on New Year's Eve on Monday. That at the end of the year here. All right. So Dark Lumen did have a couple questions here. So what's your favorite band?
Okay, really depends on my mood. I'm big into symphonic metal, so I like a band called Nightwish, but I also like my Goat Roper music.
And he mentioned ICP too, specifically. He said, and why is it ICP? Or maybe he meant to say something else, but he said Insane Clown Posse, which I forgot that was the... I was like, what's ICP?
Like, I bought an ICP album when I was in high school because my buddy John was a juggalo.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
So it's not ICP.
No.
It's
when I'm driving out in like central Pennsylvania, I like something soothing.
Yeah.
So I like my Goat Roper music. So the Drive-By Truckers, Jason Isbell and the 400 unit, the Turnpike Troubadours.
Slow down. I'm going to have to try to find graphics for all these. For me, I mean, I'm pretty eclectic. I do like a lot of different things. I learn a lot about new music when I do have to commute back and forth from work. So I discovered a guy I probably never would have listened to, Genesis Owasu. I like his shit. It's really cool.
Say what?
Yeah, it's badass music. I like it. It's almost like it's like a fucking mushroom trip when you listen to it. I like the Struts. I like, Greta Van Fleet. I like a lot of classic rock and stuff.
Okay.
Hendrix, and I like CSMY. I like Billy Joel. I'm pretty eclectic in that way. I listen to rap. I used to listen to fucking, Forgot About Dre's my go-to karaoke song. So,
like, I'll listen to rap as like a guilty pleasure, but it has to be West Coast old school.
good stuff.
I can't stand any of those East Coast busters.
Yeah. Next episode.
Biggie, Buster. Jay-Z, Buster.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, The Truth.
P. Diddy, bust a nut inside a guy. Yeah, you heard about P. Diddy too. He's gay, allegedly.
His music's gay.
Here was another thing he asked. I thought this was actually a funny question the way he said this, because he posed this in one of our episodes, so he was kind of watching along. He said, "Is this some sort of right wing? We can't say anything anymore comedy podcast?" Yes, pretty much. No, I mean, we can't say anything anymore in the sense that I've actually seen that. We've gotten a strike for medical disinformation or misinformation, whatever the fuck it is. It is hard to, like, on these sort of medians, you do have to fucking monitor yourself. You have to watch what you say. We have a strike against us.
Your fault.
And, I'm not to say I'm a right-wing person, but I'm not a lefty moron retard.
The last time I renewed my driver's license, I switched to Republican. For years I was an independent, but I decided to go all in. I'm a shameless Trump supporter and a conservative. So
hey, I voted for Obama his first term, and
Me too.
I regret it. So, but yeah, I did it. So some of now we can see through the propaganda enough to know that I didn't like Trump in the beginning at all. Actually, I really didn't like him. But then I liked his policies, and I saw the way that he was being treated by the mainstream media, and there's something to that. When they're telling you to look this way, look this way, look this way, there's something going on over here, and usually it's money being given to Ukraine.
I didn't like Hope and Change, so it was a slow progression towards the right.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like the lack of leadership from Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, well, the left is going so far off the deep end. And then Hillary Clinton, I mean, the emails, the smashing of the phones, Bill and his Epstein Island trips. I mean, there's, people being suicided and they've got a fucking cord around their neck hung to a tree with a shotgun blast through them, and that's a fucking suicide? Come on.
Allegedly, she was part of, like, I think it was called, like, Operation Bimbo.
I believe it.
The covering up of all Bill's hoes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure some of those were in the emails, allegedly, that she destroyed the servers that were in the bathroom. Not allegedly. He also just said, "What is this show?" And then he asked about taking questions from the live chat, which, again, I'm usually watching the episode as it premieres on Mondays at 6. So when that happens, I can address any questions you have in the live chat. But we pre-record these. The reason why we pre-record them is we add a lot of stuff in. We add clips in, we add graphics in, and I do all that stuff. It takes time to do all that shit. So, and it's nice to just, have an episode ready to go in the chamber for you guys. That way we can keep pumping these out on Mondays at 6 p.m. because, we want to give you guys a great show every week. So.
And 9 times out of 10, when the show's premiering, I'm driving home from work.
Yeah. We don't usually shoot on a Monday. We usually are here in the studio on like a Thursday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and again, it takes time to do the editing and stuff, which I like doing that, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of getting all the name drops that we're putting in there. That way, people can recognize them. But
I'm clueless. I'm just a talent.
Yeah.
I'm a little when it comes to technology.
But it is fun. We love doing it. So keep watching. Please, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That way, you guys get the shows as they come out. Again, I mean, it's Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Every Monday, we put out a new show. So, and as always, we love you guys. I'm Andrew G.
I'm Jeremy H.
We will see you guys on Monday next week. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for watching The Jeremy and Andrew Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.